positions, ground command. We heard about ground command job this week. We've talked about trustee job this week. Now I have another hat, right? So I'm an ambassador. So I'm an ambassador to a council, not the World Council, not the World Order, not the Cabal, not any of these folks. These folks would not talk to those people. And they're not here. So they're elsewhere. Hence my background this week. So I'm going to read this to you. I'm not asking you to believe it. I'm not telling you to write something up on, YouTube or wherever this is posted about how I'm wrong and all of this stuff. I'm just going to read it out to you. So take it for what it is and let's let it go. So, okay, the 21st of January will be Planetary Liberation Day. The planet will move out of what they refer to as the danger zone for good and never to return. So they still refer to us as Midgard, just so you know, because we were the guardian between both sides, as we talked about last week. Monetary concerns will be over by the 6th or 7th of January, allowing for the full restoration to take place. The network you have set up will be responsible in ensuring no child goes hungry. And this will occur very, very quickly as the 11th in your calendar month. So the solar return taking place on the 3rd of January in your current calendar year brings new hope and a feeling of overwhelming joy. In current time, it is the birthday of your planet. So that's what they say, happy solar return. The age of darkness is over, and we have survived. We shall live in eternity, vast in the light of the Creator. We couldn't be more pleased with the outcome of this transition. Had it not been for you and the entire enforcement team, this may have gone horribly awry. Therefore, the Council would like to invite you and all of humanity to join us in our celebration of life today, as the omnipotent Creator gifts us all in abundant blessings forever and evermore. The dawning of a new age has begun, the golden age, not just on Earth, but in the infinite multiverse. We too end many millennia of oppression and are beginning the restoration of many planets. So that is a message in from the Council. It's not over. Yeah. If there was ever a week to have popcorn and a soda and watch this show, it is last week and this week. The Deep State did a great job at their bait and switch and trickery this week with installing Biden. But I'm going to start, let's see. So this week's parting of the ways started with two folks, Dick Cheney and Mr. Rumsfeld. As you saw at the beginning of this week, or the end of last week, I guess it was Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, and other secretaries of defense that signed a bill, right? Or not a bill, but a agreement or something like that. There's a reason for this, and we'll get into that a little bit later. And Dick was promised the position of head of the Order of the Black Sun this week. So promptly, our Life Force Enforcement team went into action and pardoned Dick. So Dick Cheney and Rumsfeld are no longer with us.
The moral of the story here is don't be a dick, right? As well.
Right. Or you might get a dick head delivered to you.
I have a great meme that I made for this, but it's really probably hilarious.
A lot of this, what I'm going to say today, will probably not be very ladylike, but I'm going to say it anyway. So just have to live with it, right? I am ground command, so
you get to define what a lady is. It's okay.
I guess so. Yeah. All right. So that was how the week started, and we had to figure out where to send these gifts, right? because it's the gift that keeps on giving. And just to make sure that everybody knew that this party was no longer with us. So we'll get into in just a minute as to where some of these things were sent. As you are all well aware, this week in DC, it was a giant crap show. Trying to be nice. It was a crap show in Washington, DC this week. It was all pre-planned. This was not a surprise to anyone. And the good news is for the assemblies, if you want to bring something to order at the Capitol building, you only need a Chewbacca bikini and the cast of Duck Dynasty to escort you in. So that's all that's necessary to be heard on the floor of the Capitol building.
Which is an amazing coincidence because I have both those things. So amazing.
You know, I thought that about you. I was always, I thought I saw some picture on Facebook.
I feel like I just won the lottery. I'm like, that's amazing.
That's all you need. That's all you need. So get yourself a Chewbacca bikini, you know, a nice horn hat, and an escort by Duck Dynasty, and you're in. Yeah. Cast of Duck Dynasty, yeah.
Apparently, they open the doors right up for you. They tell you where to go.
Yep, they do.
Like, it's like you walk up to the police and they're like, oh, you're with Duck Dynasty.
If you're having trouble climbing the side of the building, they will help you up. Yeah. The police will, give you a boost up into the building. You're supposed to be there. I'm going to tell you, you couldn't walk into Walmart with that outfit on, let alone the Capitol building. I mean, seriously. You have to have clearance 2 weeks ahead of time. Even on a tour, you have to buy your tickets ahead of time. You have to have, they scan through everybody that walks into that building. That was the most asinine, ridiculous thing, right? To try to claim that Trump was responsible for calling all patriots to Washington, D.C.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole sham that they played out was absurd.
Oh, it gets better. Want to hear the rest? You ready?
I do want to.
Okay, let's get better. Okay, so Pence had already had agreements with all of Congress. He did announce in the regular news that he didn't want to participate in politics anymore. Now, why? Because after the death of Dick Cheney, Pence was the recipient of Dick's head, just so you know, the day before the 5th, morning of the 5th, when he got into the office. So that, because he actually deserved the Dick's Head Award for the week, and probably the year, actually. As you remember, we pointed out that Senatus Consultum website a few weeks back, and he is on there loud and proud. He was actually one of the first participants from the Order of the Black Sun, right? So
they love awards. I mean, they love that kind of stuff. Right?
They do.
We should have a formal Dick's Head Award for every year. I mean, I feel like that's great.
We should.
I mean, the person who was in your position before, they would have killed to get an award from that person. Well, now, maybe that's the problem. You don't give out awards. So.
That's it. I need to start making up some titles for these people or something. I don't know. So, all right. So, well, this didn't go exactly as we planned. I mean, we did plan on him getting scared and maybe changing his mind about the decision that he and Congress had already decided on ahead of time, that they were going to all confirm Biden. So this was already decided ahead of time. The promises and the bribes and everything was already accounted for. Now, why does someone say publicly that they don't want to participate in politics anymore when you are from the Order of the Black Sun? Do you know why?
Because you're ascending into the higher ranks of the...
Because you're ascending into the higher ranks. Now, Mr. Pence rose up in the ranks of the Order of the Black Sun by raping children and murdering them. So I think his death toll is slightly under 100, and that's how he rose in the ranks. And now, for doing a great job for the Order of the Black Sun, this order was actually given by Dick Cheney, and he was Dick Cheney's right-hand man, in case you didn't know. So
I know that.
That's right. And so when Trump went against the order, after not receiving the position he was promised, and he started going against everyone, Pence's job was to make sure that he basically left office a disgrace, and then they started doing what they do to everybody, including myself. I've been the victim of all of this. They then break you publicly. So Trump was supposed to break publicly as a sign to all of the Order of the Black Sun as to what happens when you go against us, right? Wow. And so this all started around the 8th or so of December, I think it was. No, it was before that. Would have been around the 8th of November is when all this started. And then when he said, forget these people, they're all full of it, I'm going to be president again, and I'm going to show them what I can really do. That was the end of that. So now the order wants him basically broke. They're trying to break all his businesses that he had prior to becoming president, had worked for his whole life. They're also trying to make sure he leaves office as a disgrace and can never, ever run again, hence the impeachment, right? That's the purpose of this exercise that she's going through now, the walking almost dead. So, okay, so Pence has 2 doppelgangers. And what you saw on the 6th was Pence's doppelganger, because Air Force Two actually took off slightly after 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time before this ever happened.
That's
so,
yeah.
Yep. Also a fellow, yes, also.
Sorry,
go ahead. Sorry.
Betrayed Trump. Betrayed all of us. Was not even really Pence. It wasn't the real guy. It was just somebody else, body double. For anybody who doesn't know the term doppelganger, it's a body double who stood in and followed orders as they love to do. Okay, got it.
Now, if I was there, I would have took the guy's horns, poked him, and checked him for DNA.
Yeah, that would have made sense. That would have made sense.
Yeah, bikini, Chewbacca bikini guy. So, all right. So let's talk about why he took off. So when you do such a magnanimous deed as ousting the president and a hostile takeover of the United States, in addition to a hostile takeover of the United States military, you get rewarded. So Mnuchin is also in on the gig. So he actually took off for Israel before Pence, and he was there a day ahead of time. So the two of them, while all this was going on in DC, right, the two of them actually took off for Israel, where they met a male. I'm not sure much about this party at this moment in time. A male wearing a black, this is all I could get on the video, a male wearing a black robe and the Ring of Solomon.
Oh.
The skin was a little bit kind of grayish, could have been a person, not sure, human hands. But I saw the Ring of Solomon, and I could see the robe and the I don't know. They both stood there. Apparently, these two were promised the head of the Black Sun, Order of the Black Sun, for the world as well, for their great job in destroying America. So, so they go over there, right? And they're doing this, I don't know, something kind of like that ritual, right? And it comes time for how to solidify, I guess, this ritual, in which they both were going to drink blood of humans, probably small children, we don't know. Knowing the two of them, they're both very much well known for participating in the pedophile rings of, the world, and that's their job. So they have all the evidence of this now at the White House and the Pentagon, or at least the people that are sane there still. So we had actually done a little switch out of this blood that they were going to drink, and the blood was actually infected with rabies. And if you know anything about rabies in humans, it's not curable. So you get about 8 to 12 hours before bad things start to happen. So both of them immediately started convulsing, probably within a few minutes, and dropped to the floor, and they both were unconscious.
So let me make sure I understand. So a lot of people aren't familiar with this stuff. So not necessarily on this call now, but in the future, just so we're clear about this. Mm-hmm. So it's common practice amongst these so-called elites, politicians, and various other groups who hold offices of power, where they can, start wars or, end wars or control money. And so they got promised a promotion. So they fly out to Israel, where they're expected to go through a ceremony. And in this ceremony, it's going to honor them in their position. And Pence, specifically, he won this acclaim because of his violent acts in the nature of raping and strangling while he was raping little boys. That's
girls, yeah. But he prefers boys, though, yes.
Okay, so both, right? Mm-hmm. And this brought him great acclaim. So this is the monster we're up against, first of all. This, in their world, this is like, good job. Great work you're doing there. I hear, and I guess if the numbers get up to a certain...
Yeah, that the robed person said, excellent job, my little demons. That's exactly